ultimately, that title window closed after 2022 because CP3 had just regressed too far. It was clear that DeAndre Ayton was not going to be the guy that he was in that 2021 playoff run that they hoped he could ever be. His value depreciated. And so you were just sitting as like an average playoff team. Like they were on pace to be a 40-something win team with CP3 and Book that year. And then you trade for Kevin Durant. And the optimism is, okay, now we're really going to contend because we have 2 top 12 players on our team. But that roster was just too far away. And that's how I feel now. That roster is still too far away no matter what you do. I would probably trade Kevin Durant, though, because I don't think you can trade Book. And to me, you just can't run it back with this same core when there are so many obvious limitations. Like, the level of play that you're getting from your role players is not even close to cutting it. Book and KD played as well offensively as they could in Game 4, and you still lost. They combined for 82 points. That speaks to just the inadequacies of this roster, and you can't build that out using all minimum contracts. They tried to do it this past year, and it just ultimately doesn't work. If you trade Kevin Durant and you get multiple really high-level role players, you get a really good point of attack defender out of that, you get a versatile, maybe switchable big with some offensive skill, somebody better than Yusuf Nurkic, who I just think ultimately having a slow-footed, non-rim protecting, non-floor spacing big is not going to cut it. And those guys tend to get played off the floor like he does positive things, but I just think you really need somebody who can hold down the 5 defensively when you have the issues that they already do in terms of slightness and just being so meh on the perimeter. If you just get some dogs in here with Book and Beal, maybe there's a higher ceiling there. But honestly, I don't even know if that moves the needle. I think either way, the Suns are just destined to be like a solid playoff team for the next few years. And if they would rather say, let's continue to put Kevin Durant and Devin Booker on the basketball court together because we think that's best for our fans' morale, then I understand that perspective. But I don't see any path here that opens up a title ceiling. They are just so far behind Denver, so far behind Minnesota, so far behind OKC, who's only going to get better as 2 of your stars are just going to slowly continue to trend downwards. It's an exceptionally brutal situation that they're in.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think the Suns have to pick a direction. That direction's either we're going to go in again on these 3 stars and we're going to try to retool and make this thing work for the next 2 years until it inevitably falls apart, or we do make a trade, which is dealing away Kevin Durant, because I don't think anybody's taking on that deal contract. And the ironic part is, if we had a time machine, not only do we question the Beal trade, I think maybe you question the KD trade, because you're thinking about the assets that you gave up. You gave up 2 great 3-and-D wings that just work in a team context and a bunch of I'd rather have those assets back. I think if you were to do it over again. And the thing about Phoenix, too, is it really is this a fundamental roster construction issue. I think the Knicks is almost giving us one of the blueprints on how to consistently win in the playoffs. Like,
Orleans moving it around. Second chances.
Right?
And Chantel down the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
Certainly not his strength on the floor. To his credit, doing the best he can from the line.
The Hornets shooting their first free throws of the night.
I just don't see anything that makes that run defensively that they need to match up physically on the class. Like, they're just... We were talking about this last night, so it's like, that's the tough part of that trading away Kevin Durant. Is it, do you admit your mistake? Do you sit there and go,
The first one falls.
you gotta redo this thing, where you just go further into the point with these 3 stars and, just kind of look away from the thing. I don't know. I agree. I think that if you go in on Beal, KD, and Book again, I think you run the risk of maybe potentially losing D-Book down the line because the is so unserious, so uncompetitive, and so far away. Like, you just run the risk of losing everybody. So, yeah, I think you just got to reach. Like, the Suns cannot compete with their cap tied up. They have no money to give to the rest of this team, and it's just going to handicap them creating a serious basketball team. I think the route is straight KD, and that is such a tough, bullet fight because KD is still so good for how old he is. And you gave up so many assets to go and get him, but I just think it's a smarter decision. I think your team is going to be better off in the long run.
Here's Hastings.
And you're just going to be deeper. And I think they'll run it back with D-Book and Beal and hope it works out. But yeah, like you mentioned, like the sad reality is Suns aren't going to
is some tough defense
be in the
there. He's one
championship
of the better
contention anyway.
finishers
They've got
in
three
our
teams that
game.
are just increasingly better than the out west. One is just so clearly the favorite, and then two are ascending right now. And
isn't a focus
Suns are going down.
this opening just too
But I would go
to
for
not
depth
make
over
it.
star power, man. I don't think you're building a serious basketball team with KD dealing
Here's
with,
Hastings.
especially with all the money that you got tied up.
Deflects the pass. It's
You know, I
stolen
thought
by
the story of
Davis.
this season for the Suns from the beginning, when the
Here's
trade first
Mashburn.
happened reveal was,
Another one falls
will they
for
get a
New Orleans.
diminishing return
Mashburn is a
on
really
him
good small
based on a
forward.
redundancy,
Terrific shooter
or
who
will they
scores well
get
from
a
the
force
mid-range area of the
multiplier
floor.
based on optimization, right? And there were stretches this year where
McGrady outside.
they'd have these games where they'd have like a 75, 80% assist percentage, drive
And
kick in,
just
and
miss after
everyone's
miss right
involved.
now.
But for the most part, it wasn't like that, right? I thought honestly the report last night, the complete
From the Magic on the
which
break.
is one of the lamest things I've seen, considering like the players just
Finishes
didn't
his
get the
time
job
with a
done,
double
and
clutch jam.
all of them turned on the coach at the end of the year.
That is
And
struggle.
there's another conversation to have about Frank Vogel, because like this is the second team in a row that you're basically going to fire him simply because they don't listen to him, which is maybe that just is a strong indicator that Frank, because I think Frank knows his stuff. I think it more is like, I think Frank needs to coach a younger, more impressionable team. I don't think you can put him in charge of a bunch of older superstars. It's clear there's back-to-back teams now where even though he's doing his job, they don't fail seconds for whatever reason. I thought the dead giveaway was that Devin Booker's quote about Frank Vogel in the film room, where like he was asked about it, and Devin's response was like a little condescending and a little bit like, yeah, Frank was just proud of his film work. Like, and it was very like weirdly diminishing. And when I heard that, I was like, oh, like you guys don't even respect this guy for the work he's putting in to try to help you win games.
On the broadcast, when the sideline reporter said that
the defense has for Davis
Vogel specifically said that he wanted them to attempt 43s in this game, and it's like, they're not close to that. Like,
They're not close.
There's never, ever been something they have demonstrated any intention of doing, so it's like, yeah, it doesn't seem like they're listening to him.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't blame Frank at all. I thought that was ridiculous. But I did think it was interesting when I read the article and I heard the bit about Kevin Durant not being happy with his role and him being stuck in the corner. And there was a specific play, I clipped it, you guys can find it on my Twitter feed @_JasonLP. But basically the Suns worked the ball before and they set a ball screen to the field out by half court. Indiana falls over and kind of like tweaks his ankle. And in the sequence,
Now, here is McGrady.
Eric Gordon pops to the right wing. He's standing at the three-point line wide
Kick
open.
out to Hill.
And
To the right wing.
Field misses him. And instead, Devin Booker's kind of standing in the short corner with Rudy Gobert. And one of the biggest issues with the Suns all series is they thought, oh, I've got Rudy Gobert. This is a matchup. It's like, no, it's not. It's definitely not. And so he throws the ball to Devin Booker. And you can see on the right wing, Kevin Durant's in the corner. He's pointing at Eric Gordon like, he's open. And if you throw it to Eric Gordon, one of two things is going to happen. Either Pat's not going to close out from the corner and he's going to get a wide open catch 2-3, or Pat's going to close out and Eric Gordon can either make the extra pass to the left to the right and kick out to KD. He's going to get an open three. And instead that doesn't happen, and Booker tries to ISO Gobert, can't shake him because big shot. Rudy Gobert. And then he ends up launching like a cross-court pass that hits KD with less than 4 seconds on the shot clock, and he has to take this like impossible left shoulder fade over to kill Alexander Walker. And when I saw that, I was like, this is literally like a perfect encapsulation of what KD is saying. And it's, for me, that's not on goal. To me, that's the general manager. When you put yourself in a position where Kevin Durant is spotting up in the corner while guys are missing reads with the ball in their hands, that to me is a strong indicator of like, okay, I could have a Jaden McDaniels over there. Because if all he's going to do is stand in the corner, I don't have respect for him.
There's very little defense for that.
And in terms of a use of resources, that makes more sense, right? Now, where I thought it was a strong signal that the three-star build really only works if they're perfectly complementary. And if they're not, it's not going to work. And there is a redundancy there, really, with all three of them, but especially with Hill and Booker, because you're talking about two guys that can run ball screens and can make plays, but they're not super high level, like run the team playmakers, right? They can, like, Bradley Beal can defend on the perimeter, but that's not like what he's made his money doing in the NBA, right? Kevin Durant, even as a forward, like, there's things that he can do, and then there's things that he excels at, right? And, like, there's so much of that overlaps that group. And so what I wonder sometimes is you almost have to consider looking around the league to see if you can offload one of the stars and get returns. The question is which. You guys both say KD. I should disagree. And here's why. Suns fans are going to think I'm crazy about this, but this is just the way I look at it. Is Devin Booker actually good enough to be the best player in the championship team? And I know he got close in 2021, but that was a weird season. That was a season that saw a Clippers team with Paul George and no Kawhi make the conference finals and get 2 games off the Suns.
And we're ready to get back into the action here in Game 1. Let's see what this quarter has in store for us. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Magic?
You got to credit their defense, communicating, rotating, making plays on the ball.
They've got them rattled. It's only the first quarter, and already they've made enough big plays on defense to last really an entire game.
The Hornets trail by 4. Here's Davis, and it's wide right. It's off the rim.
Tell you what, that is a missed opportunity from mid-range for sure. With as little defense as was shown, should have made that one.
And they call the 8-second violation. Too much time getting it up court. The Hornets shooting about 33%. Not happy with their play on that end. There's the lob to Brown. It's stolen by Kemp. Here's Hastings. And he banks in the layup. Hastings got 11.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
Here's Alexander. And it's sent back by Kemp.
Long arms and quick reflexes from Kemp allow him to get all over that shot there.
To the middle. Hornets with the rebound. Davis surveying the floor. We play just over a minute of basketball here in the second quarter. There's the pick. Alexander. It's good from about 19 feet. Alexander's got his first 2 points. Orlando leading by 4. Here's Hastings. He's got 11. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Garrity. That one's in, his first shot this game.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist.
To the paint, here's Brown, and finished off by Brown.
And bullseye with that assist. Nice delivery there in traffic.
Magic have gone 2 of 3 from the field here to open the second quarter. Armstrong with it. Still scoreless. Here's Garrity. Over to the left wing. Picked him clean. And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter.
That's a stomach punch, guys. Turn it over and give him a free run to the bucket.
Oh, you're so right. No question who has the momentum now.
You know, those kinds of plays can be difference makers, game changers, momentum shifters, especially in a close contest where 1 or 2 possessions can impact the outcome.
And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Brown. And the Hornets making a change here. Rice is checked in. Here's Hastings. He's guarded by Davis. McGrady against Lynch. He takes it in. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
The ball handling of TMac, really impressive. Watching him play, this guy is a thing of beauty. Puts a lot of time into his ball handling.
Not
You can
great
tell.
playmaking, not consistently rim pressure, not even volume three-point shooting. Primarily on-ball players.
Davis sets a
This
screen.
offense, he needs all these stars.
Here's
Good,
Lynch.
but not great throughout
A
this year.
putback.
All of their
Hill
issues
pulls it in.
needing great perimeter defenders,
Hill
like
with it.
the
He brings
Minnesota
it up for the
talked
Orlando
about.
Magic.
Lack of real high-end quickness.
Only giving up 6 here in
That
this
is all
quarter.
very,
A
very
shot
real,
by
but
McGrady, no good.
KD
The
is
Hornets trail
different
by
from the
4.
two of them in terms of having different defensive value. I think just in terms of the size
Stolen.
dimension to
That's
begin
right.
with.
Here come the
I
Magic.
just wonder, like, that
He's
was
gotta
another
put
thing
that
that's always
one
funny
in his
because
grab
I was
hook.
also
Insane
thinking
dunk.
about
Now
a
they're
trade
starting to rub it
Orlando
in.
or
Build
New York.
up a
Like, what do
lead, and
you
here we
think,
go.
okay,
Baby,
they
it is
want
showtime.
that, like,
And
superstar
why not?
shot
A
maker
little
to
salt
put
in
them
the
over the
wound.
top.
The
And they
more
have a
plays they make
well-coached
like
role
that,
players.
the
Do
more
you not
they'll
think
have
you
these guys
get more of
reeling
those
and
guys
on the
back
ropes.
rotating? Like, instead of getting Suggs and
Davis, the
Isaac
pass to
and Wendell
Lynch.
Carter, what if it's just Suggs and Isaac? Because I don't think that's an unreasonable
Grant
call
against Davis.
for Kevin Durant. And at that point, if
Orlando
I'm getting
grabs
that
the miss.
sort of exchange
Hastings
rate,
got 4
then
rebounds
I
now
would
tonight.
have Devin Booker long term. Because I also think Kevin Durant is the
Down
best
low.
shot in the title right
And
now.
a
I think they are
beautiful
right in
feed
the
to
same
a
range.
monster
They're
jam.
both right outside the
And
top
he
10
has
players in
his
the league.
fingerprints
They both have
all over
very
this
similar
first
limitations,
half. He
very
is just
similar
shooting it
strengths.
so
And I think we saw all
efficient.
of that
And
play out
first
in the
time out of the
series.
game called
So
for
I
New
don't
Orleans.
think that's from a pure basketball perspective, but I still want that team to win the title, and I don't think they can trade Devin Booker. And I think you can get good players back for Kevin Durant because it's Kevin Durant. And there's going to be somebody out there, like, think about what the Suns just did a year and a half ago. KD was playing at a higher level at that point, but they gave a ridiculous haul. You're not going to get that, of course, but I still think you can get good enough players to where it's reasonable to say, okay, maybe you could be slightly better giving him up and getting back quality role players next year. And this is like 2K. I love that trade. It just makes so much more sense. You got two guys who can just go and serve buckets, and then on the backside, they're all complementary. Isaac's one hell of a defensive playmaker.
Next to KD, too.
Yeah. So this is an awesome point of attack guy. Wendell Carter, I think it's really underrated. Like, he can stretch the floor a little bit now and really grimy on the block. I like him a lot. But I don't, man. That's the one thing. Devin Booker's the heart and soul of this city, man. I think the fan base is flying. I don't know if they show up the game. I understand what you mean, though, like in terms of just straight up trade value. I think you would get more for Book and KD, but I just don't think you can do that to the fan base. But I love the hypothetical trade. I think that's mutually beneficial to both sides. The Magic, so that just this grimy, nasty offensive points finally gets an offensive creator who's reliable, and then Phoenix just has more quality basketball players, which is just what they desperately need. So I like the deal. I think if they can get something like that done, they just get more quality guys in terms of a 2-for-1, a 3-for-1, I would do it. But I'm with Carson on this one, man. KD's the older assets.
104 left to play here in the second quarter.
It was a positive by subtraction. You were just
Now
taking out
Davis.
another guy who's
7
getting
points
the
in the
ball in
game.
his hand, who looks
And
to
it's off
create
the
for
back
himself, and
rim,
you're
no
just
good.
subbing
It's a
out.
shot he's gotta hit.
That's how I
You
feel
don't
if
get
you
many
play all
looks
these guys. I don't think
from
any of
that
them are
range.
number one,
Hastings,
but I
the
think
pass
just
to Hill.
eliminating another guy who wants the
And
ball in
he
his
can extend
hand
the lead to double
is
digits.
going to do wonders for
A
this
chance
team,
at a
getting the guy
2-for-1
who's
if they
going to do
want.
this job.
I'm
So
them. I
if
try.
it is KD or Book, I
Ashburn,
would
no
also.
good.
I just don't think you
Magic
can
leading by
justify
8.
trading Book away from this fan base, man. KD's the older guy.
Hill
Fans aren't
inside.
attached to him.
Here's McGrady.
I think that would rip the heart and soul out
Offline
of
with
the
his
Suns
three.
fan base.
The
Yeah,
Hornets
for the
shooting is
record, I don't
definitely
think that'll
helping at the
happen
moment.
because I
They're
do
just
think that that would
30% in
be
the
admitting
second
defeat in a certain
Ashburn, the
sense, and I
pass
think
to
that there's
McCall. 2 seconds separating the shot
like a
clock
lot
and
of
game.
that blood that would come from it. I'm just saying, I don't think clinging to Booker
Outside,
is actually
Davis.
going to
Mash
be
one.
like you're
That
just going to
one
be where you
goes.
are
Count it.
anyway. And so I'm
Ashburn's
saying
got
I
his
kind of
second
view this
basket.
more or
Like
less
saying
as a
Davis, focus
small
on
window
getting
to
the
begin
ball
with.
around to other people. Solid.
And I just think you're better
Recognizing when his
if you
teammate has
put
an
him
advantage.
as like the more powerful
Here's
asset
McGrady.
to get a return.
No
You know,
good on the last second
I was
attempt
talking
there.
through some
And that
options as a
concludes
Suns
the first
fan
half.
yesterday,
Orlando
Suns
in
fan
front.
friend of mine,
They're up by
and
6.
I was just kind of,
And don't go
you know,
away.
just kind
After the break,
of putting
we'll
some
see you
ideas
right
out
back
there.
here for the
And
start of the
the
third
Knicks
quarter.
related one I came out with, because again, you're looking for a team that has, again, if you're trading Booker, it has to be a younger team, right? Because, like, to your point, Carson, I don't think you can trade KD to Orlando, because why the hell would Orlando want KD? Him and Paolo play the same position, and it's a fundamentally different timeline. And you're just more optimistic about the long-term development of Suggs and Wendell Carter Jr. and Isaac anyway, right?
You know what? I'll
now,
be interested to see just
when
how
it
much
comes to
he's got
trading
left in the tank. That
KD,
first half
you're primarily
would
looking
take
for
a
a
lot
team
out
that is looking for a secondary star, but is on a more urgent timeline. And the Knicks are the team that kind of make a lot of sense to me. I was thinking teams like the Knicks or the Warriors. So the Knicks trade would be like if you call New York and you want OG Anunoby and Mitchell Robinson, like something like that. Would you make that type of move? And I think if the Knicks traded OG Anunoby for KD, there'd be a little bit of a riot because of OG's contribution during this run. So that's what's hard to conceptualize. Okay, it's the Warriors. They go after, Andrew Wiggins and Jonathan Kuminga or something like that. Like, Warriors fans would not like giving up Kuminga. Especially under the tightness of the window that they'd have to contend with there. I'm not even sure if the Suns would view Andrew Wiggins as much of a swing piece for them. It's really hard to conceptualize those types of deals because KD's value was fundamentally different when he was traded to Phoenix than it is now. He was viewed in the Phoenix trade as a guy who could go over the top to win a championship. I don't necessarily think teams are going to see that with the same value nowadays. And again, it's going to be interesting to see. Again, I just pitched the Booker one because to me, it's about like self-awareness and identifying that, like, as good as Booker is, he needs to be the Kyrie to LeBron and Luka, not the guy that you're actually building around. And so you don't have that guy. And so, like, maybe that is the case. Maybe you look at it more in terms of draft compensation. You split Booker for just a shit ton of draft compensation, and then you're fun and entertaining, and you're a mediocre playoff team with KD and Field while you build through the draft. Like, I don't know. But, like, the point is we started this conversation at the top of the topic, but they're just screwed.
That'll be a 5-second call.
New Orleans ball.
Here is Davis. He's got 7. Here's Wesley. That's in there. Davis with the assist.
David Wesley has a nice looking release on that three-point shot, so you got to respect him from there.
They're going to turn it over. They couldn't get it in bounds that time.
New Orleans ball.
That's tipped, and it's out of bounds. The Hornets able to retain possession here.
Great instincts from him to get a hand on that pass and tip it out.
And, you know, even though they didn't come up with the steal, that's still a nice defensive play.
Just over a minute and a half have passed here in the third quarter.
These are the shots you want Mashburn taking because he's that good on offense.
Unable to get the ball in bounds. They get called for the 5-second violation. Off the inbound. It counts. And the foul. It goes on Horace Grant.
The adjustments they've made offensively, they're putting guys in a position now to succeed.
It's certainly been an impressive run. They finally found the right formula to break down the defense. What's up?
And the free throw, no good.
Is such a skilled player. Mashburn can be a handful to keep up with as a defender. His game has that interesting mix of physicality and agility to it.
You know, guys, sometimes that just happens, but you don't like to see it when the game is this close.
And we're just about 2 minutes into the second half now. To the inside. Shot's good by Rice. Rice has got his first bucket of the night.
And you simply can't give Rice those close looks because he is going to make you pay.
That'll be a 5-second call. The Magic making a switch here. Miller's checked in.
Coming on the floor from your Magic, number 50, Mike Miller.
Davis, the pass to Mashburn. Some nice passing here by New Orleans. And it's Wesley missing.
And he thought he had a clear path to the hoop, but the defense didn't give up on that play and cut him off.
And there's the 8-second call as they can't get it across half court in time. Brown is checked in for New Orleans.
Number 42, P.J.
New Orleans with the ball. 11 unanswered points for him. Well, we're into the third quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played. Out of bounds, Orlando takes possession.
Assistant from Wells Fargo. You can pick up the tab.
Orlando trailing
in your wallet.
Fargo, send cash $145 instead.
17 points in the game.
Well, faster, easier banking. With Wells Fargo.
At all costs.
Definitely saved the layup with that foul, and it'll make him earn them from the line.
Orlando shooting their first free throws of the game.
And also this. Fargo, turn on my debit card. Fargo, you can with Wells Fargo.
And the first one at the line is good.
First, the Clippers get a W in Los Angeles in what was essentially a must-win game, tying the series up at 2-2 apiece.
James Harden and Paul George both had 33. PG dominated in the first half, while Harden was strong with one of his clutchest playoff performances,
making it look effortless.
Next, the Sixers at home blow a huge opportunity to tie the series at 2 apiece as Brunson puts up a masterclass performance on offense, while the Knicks as a whole put up a masterclass on defense, shutting down Embiid and the Sixers for the entirety of the time. And last, but believe me, not least.
Picks one up. Orlando shooting their third and fourth free throw shots of the night.
Hello everybody, welcome to House Sports Production. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Hit the like on this video. It only takes 1 second and makes a massive difference. I was here performance in the YouTube algorithm. Trying this format out again. Did it yesterday or the other day, but the entire discourse was about Joel.
First free throw is good.
Apparently I didn't hate on him enough. Talk about that further in the video with Yeet. I like this format though. Let me know what you think of it if you haven't already. The Clippers play without Kawhi in Game 4 as they did in Game 1, and another thing they did, just like Game 1, is they got a win. Kawhi in Games 2 and 3 displayed that he was clearly not ready to be back, and he was ultimately able to be back by being there. So it was better for Kawhi's health and the team's ability to have him hold off for a little bit longer. His timeline of return is currently indefinite, so who knows what impact he will have from here. It's damn unfortunate because the Clippers could be such a larger threat with him playing at 100%. The fact that they're tied in this series without him proves that. Without trying to implement an injured player into the offense, they could open the very smoothly to the Clippers. And I specifically mean the Paul George brand of smooth. He had 16 first-quarter points on 6 for 9 shooting, hitting 3 3-pointers, as well as a Euro step into
59 seconds left in the third quarter.
The Clippers would score 39 first-quarter points. Dallas, well, they would sit their pants right out of the gate, as they did in Game 1.
And be ready as soon as the shot goes up.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. New Orleans making some changes here. Lynch, he's checked in for McGlure, and Alexander subbed in for David Wesley. And here's Kemp. He'll bring it up for the Magic. Here's McGrady. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
Meeting the defense with power, McGrady holds nothing back and finishes in motion.
The Magic have shot 75% at the line tonight, going 3 for 4. The first free throw is good.
One of the most ferocious scorers in the game. McGrady's length and athleticism is so difficult to contain.
Burke, he's checked in for the Magic. So he hits 1 of 2 from the stripe.
And you can see that even though he ties the game up, disappointed he couldn't give him the lead.
Ashburn, no good.
Well, that's a good player missing from point-blank range. That's one you got to convert.
Here's McGrady. Dives to the hoop. Oh, he misses the dunk.
Not really the best decision. I mean, get the easy 2, the for sure 2. No need to make it fancy and special.
Orlando, they've gone 3 of 4 so far in the third quarter from the field. Pretty good start to the half. There's 14 seconds left in the third. Driving in, and he throws it down hard with one hand.
Guys,
McGrady has an
back on
impressive
defense,
vertical
like
showing once again.
There were a lot of chaotic 50-50 balls in this game. A lot of players throwing themselves on the hardwood.
We've got more in store.
That's playoff basketball, baby. Derek Lively stood out to me as particularly good this quarter, doing the little things on defense and setting good screens. He was involved in a great play where he got an offensive board off of a Luka miss, threw it to Kyrie, who would drive inside and hit a filthy wraparound pass to Lively for a dunk. Lively also had a really nice two-man game play with Luka that got him a layup. Speaking of offensive boards, Dallas had 9 of them in this quarter, one of them being this Derrick Jones Jr. rebound where he rebounded his own miss and set a handoff up to Kyrie.
Well, it doesn't get much better than playoff basketball.
PG would end the quarter with his first points of it, getting an and one on the break, but otherwise being quiet in the quarter, as was James Harden, who had 0 third-quarter points. Because of this, Dallas managed to gain lead, being up 4-4. Kyrie started the quarter with his usual shit, just stepping back and waiting for the dumbass defender to go flying by and then slashing a three. Kyrie stuff. TJ Washington got a great finish over Plumlee in the open court, resulting in an and one. Dallas elected to go small to close the fourth quarter, which was definitely bites them in the ass. Now with no significant rim protection at their disposal, Dallas made the team more vulnerable, and James Harden took full advantage. He would completely swing the momentum back to LA almost single-handedly. He would hit 5 floaters, one of which was an and one with just a minute 20 to go. Kyrie had a ridiculous finish, a wild three, and Luka had a semi-wild three of his own, but ultimately Harden's onslaught would have buried the match. Between now the series ties into Game 5 is poised to be a big one. Alright, so my key takeaways for the Dallas Mavericks. First of all, this is kind of an ugly Luka game. Feels weird to say that a 29-9-9 performance is bad, but his efficiency was poor, and honestly, that counting stats total isn't even that impressive for Luka Doncic.
Over to the wing.
Know what he is capable of, but Kyrie was Dallas' best player for this entire game, and you can really seldom say that. There are definitely a lot of games where Kyrie is very, very good, but very rarely
got enough opening to go for the three. I didn't think it was
thoroughly outplayed him in this one. Out-leadered him as well. There was a play in here. I think I played it out in the game commentary. The trophy.
Hastings grabs the board. Hastings got 6 rebounds now in the game. McGrady against Lynch. The shot by McGrady, no good. Hornets have gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. Driving to the basket. McGrady against Wesley. The 3. And it's Orlando with the rebound. And it's McGrady that time on the assist by Hill. It's a tie ball game.
And that's right in his wheelhouse, looking to make an impact when it counts.
You know, they want the ball in his hands here because they trust him to hit all the big shots.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans.
Let's get it, Magic fans.
And let's head over to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin. Well, during that last break, I heard the New Orleans Hornets coach as he addressed the team. Now, he emphasized it's anybody's game right now. He told his guys to focus on finishing the task at hand and not to get distracted. He wants them to go out there and play with authority. Kevin?
Thank you, David. Rice kicks to Davis. And there's the pass to Mashburn. And again, New Orleans has no up.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making the weak coverage pay.
Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation.
Hornets foul. David Wesley. First personal foul. First team foul.
I want to shout out Rudy Gobert.
Hastings.
I want to shout out Carl Anthony Towns.
They say it was last touched by Hill.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal
talking
turnover.
about as a disappointing player because of Gucci.
New Orleans has gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. Outside, Davis to the paint, and he jams it with authority.
Yeah, you know, he knows this play every which way. McGlory is right where he should be on both ends of the action.
Here's Hastings. It's stolen by Davis. Here's Rice. It's Davis on the wing. Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. And there's a whistle that goes on Mr. Clutch. That'll be his second foul of the game. Now here is Davis. Defense right on him. Looking to get it going. And they call the foul. So he's got the and one chance here to make it a three-point play.
And going on the offensive, Davis knows they need a bucket, so he holds nothing back. And he caps that off in style. He gets the finish with the harm. Huge possession there to extend the lead.
And he recovers it. We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the fourth quarter. Puts up a deep three. Orlando grabs the miss. Hill's got 8 rebounds in this game. And plus, that one goes careening off the glass. Outside, Davis. He feeds it to McLaurin. With Wesley on the wing. McGrady covering.
And look at how Rice is just totally ready for the moment. Just put the ball in his hands, and he's good to go.
And they're desperately trying to get this game back within reach.
And with very little time to spare. Clearly a foul.
Yeah, he took a shot there. Earned those free throws.
At the line for Orlando, Tracy McGrady. 2 shots.
Gets the first, and that brings them within 5. And a tough break is his second attempt at the line. No good.
Yeah, he cuts the deficit a little bit, but not as much as he could have. One miss can make a big difference.
Here's Mashburn. He gets that one to drop. He's now 5 of 12.
Relentless in their approach, even with the game firmly in hand.
And, you know, until that final buzzer sounds, I mean, you've got to treat every possession like it's crucial.
Wesley. Hastings grabs the board.
No one to blame on that one but himself. You get looks like that, you've got to take it down.
That's exactly how you win a rebound battle. Get good position and then use your strength to hold on to that position.
Here's Rice. And here is Davis. So we see the Hornets get the win here. A pretty good feeling right now for them to be out in front like this in the series.
You know, Kevin, momentum so critical. And you know they'll want to ride this wave into game 2.
And that about wraps it up for this broadcast of the NBA Eastern Conference quarterfinals. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. See you later.